All right, guys. Well, welcome back. It was great having you here again for another Protector Summit. So, really appreciate that. How'd you guys think the weekend went?
Another fantastic weekend. As always, I really think the co-ed part of that we've introduced into the summit with the Achievers Summit here is going to add another. It's definitely going to add another layer to it, and I see it expanding very quickly, just like the Protector Summit did. Especially if we introduce it there. Have a Protector Summit that's co-ed, and then maybe do another just straight men's summit at another time. I see it exploding, and I think it's necessary. Not only does the masculine side of the warrior need to be expressed, but the feminine side of the warrior, it needs a place to be expressed as well too, because everybody, it's all hands on deck right now. So I thought it was a fantastic weekend. The female coaches were amazing. Lacey did amazing. Maddie did amazing. And the females that showed up, they showed up. I mean, we saw some breakthroughs with everybody.
One won the
won everything. Yeah,
won the final contest, the final shooting contest.
Yeah, Jordan won everything.
Yeah, we did a shooting competition.
That's awesome, dude. I mean, and she was
a Green Beret.
Yeah, but she was broken at the time too. Like
I'll give him that.
She was shaky. She was smoked when she won. You know,
she was when she came over before and I've got everybody exercising, keeping their their breath going, and she was just shivering.
Yeah,
she was shivering uncontrollably, and I told Lacey to go get her some lemonade.
Let's give him some context to that.
Okay.
Well, of course, we started something.
Yeah,
we thought would be easy. Is a good idea. But
I got these puzzles, right? And I introduced these in our strategic thinking under stress, and this is it's a brain game kind of thing.
These puzzles for 5-year-olds.
Well, it's a 13 gram, and there's 9 grams that are like the easier one, 10 grams, and it's pieces of puzzles in it, and they're the ones with the little shapes that you have to put in, and they only fit one way.
They give you a picture, and you have to make the shapes make the picture.
Yeah.
Now, on the box, this is where I mess with everybody. On the box, it says for 5 and up. And I think it says for 5 and up because under 5, it's a choking hazard.
Right. You're probably
it's not a mentality thing.
You're probably right because they're not easy.
No.
No.
So we do a relay race. So you got there's a group of 3 people, and you got 1 minute to work. One person has to balance on these 2 Atlas stones. And while they're standing on the stone, they have to squat down all the way to a low squat to reach the table where the puzzle is. And while they're working on the puzzle, they have 1 minute to work on the puzzle, and their teammates they're in a circuit. The one teammate is at a short wall, which is waist height, and they have to pick up a 55-pound for the women, 55-pound sandbag for the men. It was a 120-pound sandbag. Pick it up, throw it over the wall. Climb over the wall, pick it up, throw it back over the wall. They have to do that for a minute, and then the other partners.
And that sounds it. Okay, I'll pick it up, throw it over the wall. Just getting under the 120-pound sandbag. Is already a chore.
Yeah. So
it's
they're doing this, and then you got a farmer's. After that, the next station is a farmer's carry, where you're going about It takes to go down to the end and back. When you do it, when you're first fresh, it might take you about 40 seconds. Then as you get going, it basically takes a minute to do a farmer's carry with the 55-pound kettlebells. For the ladies, it was a 30-pound kettlebell.
Kettlebells.
One in each hand.
Yeah.
But the quickest team was actually the women. And it took them 23 minutes and 30 seconds.
Wow.
So
the women showed up.
So for a solid, 7 minutes of that, you're doing a farmer's carry. For a solid 7 minutes of that, you're just picking up that sandbag, and then the other you're working on maybe it's
in a squat.
8 minutes. Yeah, 8 minutes. You're in a squat working on that puzzle. There was a couple guys who their team went on for
was it 40
something minutes. It was brutal. They literally looked like someone poured a bucket of water over their head. I was starting to worry about heat exhaustion, but their grip was burnt out. They were fatigued. They ran over, and then they have to do this shooting competition. with their hands like barely working, and this girl, she broke down. She was like crying doing the farmer's carry.
Yeah.
You know, like super emotional. I'm like, do you want to stop? I'm like, we can stop and we can just go shoot. She's like, you can see her thinking about it. She's like, no, I want to finish. I'm like, or do you want to finish the drill? She's like, I want to finish the drill.
Yes.
I'm like, all right,
Do it then.
grab the sandbag, let's go. You know.
Right.
But she won. It was
She won.
amazing. It
Yeah.
was amazing. She got
First place.
It's
By the time she got over to us at the shooting portion, her hands were trembling uncontrollably,
Yeah.
and she was like slumping down and then like waking herself back up and slumping and waking herself back up. I was like, you good? You gonna be all right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Here's
yeah, totally.
here's a really cool thing about this. Her boyfriend came out to our Protector Summit in
Yep.
February.
Yep.
With a tank top.
And
Yep.
yeah. And him and my wife at the end of the Protector Summit got baptized in our pool.
That's right.
And then
Oh, was he one of the ones?
he
Yeah,
was the
yeah.
one. And then he told his girlfriend what happened. And then she joined Maddie at the Red Glitter Project
Right.
like a month later, and Barrett left here and went and he assisted at the Red Glitter Project. And then she got baptized at the Red Glitter Project when they finished
And
up.
then they came here together.
And then they just came
That
here
is
together
so
and they did the
bad.
event together. And that was the cool thing to see a lot of these people at this event, because we opened it up to make it co-ed. We saw people coming together with their girlfriends or their wives.
Yeah.
And really
Growing
just
together,
focusing
yeah.
on growing the relationship and focusing on building a stronger family unit. And that was one of the really cool takeaways with changing the dynamic of,
Yeah.
of what we were doing with this.
Yeah.
You know what didn't change, what I enjoyed, was we didn't soften it up.
Yep.
We didn't
Yeah.
soften it up because there were girls in the audience. Or
We,
in
we
the
did some
class.
different stuff, but you know,
Yeah, but it didn't get softer by any means.
yeah,
Yeah. And I think they appreciated that.
yeah,
And they brought it. I mean, they
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they pushed. For
Yeah, they
sure.
did great.
I mean,
They
the
did great.
main thing that each of the girls said when we asked, you know, what did you get out of it? Did you get the same thing that you were intending to get
Yeah,
out of it and
yeah.
whatnot? Something that was consistent across all the girls was, I found another gear. I found another level. I
Yeah.
pushed myself way harder than I thought that I could go.
I realize I need this skill set now. I never
Yeah,
thought
yeah.
about it that way, and I want to grow in that area. And as a couple, I mean, it's just going to grow them closer together, stronger together, more confident together. As a couple,
Yeah.
I got your back even more now. So, man, what a cool weekend! And the guys crushed it as well. I mean,
For sure.
as usual, you know, everybody showed up. They got a lot out of what they were doing, and
Yeah, we had the one dude come down from Canada.
yeah, never shot a gun before.
Never shot-
Never
before.
held a gun
Yeah.
before.
Yeah,
All the way down from Canada.
And we pulled a coach aside and we just said, hey, man, here we go. We
Yeah.
gave him some coaching, and before you know it, he was running through the drills, doing a great job.
yeah.
You
He's
know?
going to bring people from Canada to the Protector Summit. I foresee. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Minnesota
there was
will
the
be
other
back,
kid,
too.
Kyle. You know, you could see that he was in a situation that he was never in before. And
Is that the dude from Minnesota?
yeah,
That's
and,
Minnesota,
and
yeah.
you know what? He showed up knowing that he was at that place, which takes a lot of courage in the first place. You know, you're going to this, you see all these images of what we do. And I can imagine it's intimidating.
Oh man.
And he shows up, and man, it didn't matter where he was at. He did his absolute
He
best,
leveled
and
up too.
100%. You
Yeah.
know, what a fantastic week! It just, man, it was awesome. It was another.
I'll tell you
awesome
what,
summit.
Lacey, so having Lacey here coaching now, she
Yeah.
coaches at home. She teaches some boxing classes, and she's a personal trainer and all that kind of stuff. And then seeing her in front of a group,
So Lacey's Kit's wife,
Yeah.
who's a professional fighter.
She's dangerous.
she is in more ways than one.
Ow!
And watching her coaching, and you know, obviously she has her own stuff that she's figured out and everything, but then like seeing my words come out of her mouth so confidently
It's the
and
truth.
everything, and
Yeah.
I was like, oh dude, you saw me.
Yeah, kid was tearing up.
I was welling up.
It was
I welled
awesome.
up a couple of times during her speech.
Yeah.
And then watching her just take charge and start teaching, I was like, yes.
Yes.
Just affirmation. Yo, yeah, I picked the right one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's also
Ah,
again,
man, that
that's
must have
also
been
a
awesome, yeah.
testament to awesome coaching. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's really cool to edify your coach by, being able to
replicate
recite
what they
and
yeah.
replicate and demonstrate
Yeah.
and bring that out in other people. And then when you're working with other people, be able to make the tweaks. It's one thing to be able to do it, but then to also be able to study someone else
Figure it out.
and to help them understand what it is that you learned from your coach.
Yeah,
so that was
100%.
a really cool pass down progression we're watching there. So many cool breakthroughs.
Yeah, well, imitation is one of the highest forms of flattery, and that's another way of doing it. Like, especially on that respect level, you know, you're imitating your coach, you're repeating the words, you're showing the techniques. Man, that is just what a huge edification. Yeah.
Yeah.
When you get that kind of that respect from your wife, that's not the normal at home, you know, respect. Right. Like you get that in the world respect from your wife.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh man, I guarantee we just locked even tighter.
Yeah, leveled up as a couple.
Yeah,
yeah,
for sure.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
so this weekend's event was about, the overall theme was about achievement, and we were labeling it the Achiever Summit. It's still part of the Protector Summit, you know, format, but we're just, this one's main focus, right? The overlying theme was achievement, and we were just going through different things. What does it mean to achieve? What does achievement mean to you? And one of the things that we were discussing was, to achieve, you need to reach something. You know what I mean? And if you're going to reach something, you need to have goals. And I think one of the great takeaways that a lot of people have was, well, where am I pulling my priorities of what is it that I need to be setting goals for? How do I formulate a game plan to reach those goals? And where am I, what would I say, where am I pulling this from? Like, who's the goals that I'm doing? Are they of the world? Are they of the spirit? You know, what's influencing me?
Yep.
What am I looking at trying to achieve? Like, what's the reasoning behind that? Yep. What's influencing me to put priority to that? Maybe it's work, maybe it's social, maybe it's sports. I don't know.
And here's the thing about that, real quick. It doesn't always start out as a righteous reason.
Yeah.
It doesn't always start out as the reason that it ends up as.